So what we teach people is how to shift their focus, how to determine what values at this stage of your life are the ones that are most important to you, that will pull you towards what you want. I always look at motivation, and I don't like the word motivation, but people overuse it, so I might as well use it, because I'm not a motivator, I'm a strategist, but I also believe in the power of inspiring people, obviously, and having high energy. But there's two types of motivation. There's push motivation, as I'm sure you know. That's where you're using willpower and making yourself do it. But there is a limit to willpower. I got a lot of willpower too. So, but there's no limit to pull motivation. Pull motivation is where something that you care about more than yourself, something that's a magnificent obsession, something where you're contributing. It could be your kids, it could be your family, but all that ties to the aim of your values that move you forward. Well, we help people re-engineer, and we don't tell them what to do. We show them how to re-engineer themselves so they have their own autonomy and ownership. When you look at people that are depressed, or even people just not where they want to be, they have no compelling future. Anyone can deal with a difficult today if they have a compelling tomorrow. A compelling future is everything, because without that, you can have an aim, by the way, but if it's not compelling, it's not going to do much. So it's a combination of that aim, those values, that drive you and I are talking about, that ignite, enough reasons for it, and then the strategies to execute, because you'll eventually find your way there, but the speed at which you do it is if I believe in modeling. I believe success leaves clues. My original teacher, Jim Rohn, taught me that. He said, if someone is successful at anything, they've got a great relationship and it's 20 years down the line and they still do it, or they lost weight and kept it off for 10 years, or they went from nothing to not just making money, but sustaining financial security and freedom for their family. They're not lucky. They're doing something different than you are. It's finding the pathway. It's finding the DNA. It's finding the codex of how to go from where you are to where you want to be. But it is more than just the aim. That'll start you. You've got to have the purpose or the reasons or your purpose. If it's somebody else's purpose or reasons, it won't last. So if you can discipline your disappointment, if you can push yourself beyond what most people give up on, you're going to get there eventually. You're going to keep flexing. But you'll get there 10 times faster if you can say, wow, there's already a pathway that's been proven. Why would I reinvent the wheel? I'll still bring myself to it, my own uniqueness to it. But there's certain fundamentals that if you do them, you're going to have economic abundance. If you don't, you're going to have pain. If we don't experience life, we experience life we focus on. So it's our job to direct the focus, but then have enough reasons to follow through on that focus. There's a difference between what people call emotional intelligence and what I would call emotional fitness. Emotional intelligence is a capability. You can be capable of being smart and not use your intelligence. I ask people, are you an honest person? Yes, but can you lie? And anybody's honest, let's say, yes, I've lied, right? So let's say, whether you show up or not, I look at emotional fitness as not a capability, it's a state of readiness. So many people have great philosophical understanding, but they don't execute. And I'm a big believer that knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. Execution dwarfs and trumps knowledge every day of the week. So I am a accelerant for the activation of moving forward, not just the understanding. I look at what creates an extraordinary life. I think it is leadership. And to me, leadership is influence. And influence is the ability to shape the thoughts, feelings, and emotions in a positive way. You can influence in a negative way, the quality of someone's life. I know most people in the world are not really physically fit. They're not really happy. They're not in a passionate relationship. They're not earning what they think they should earn. That is most people. But there's a few who do. And I mentioned the few who do versus the many who talk, so I can take their models and bring it to the person who can now be one of the few who do also if they choose to. Got it. But then it requires all the things you and I teach, the aim, the peace, the persistence to make that happen. It's the hero's journey. You know the hero's journey better than anybody, right? You have this ordinary life and you get that call to adventure. It could sound like cancer. It could sound like your business is shut down by COVID. It could be a relationship ending. Doesn't sound like a call to adventure, but that's what it is. Well, the call to adventure happens, and as you know, most people don't take the calls. They have to take more hits. So they have to take the call. And then you go on the journey and you meet new people, new friends, and you meet new mentors. And you get past the point of no return where you have to go forward, and then you do battle. And eventually you slay your dragons. You come home the hero of your own life, and you have something real to give people because you've lived it. It's not just book knowledge. And then as soon as you're done, it happens again. You're challenged again. So I look at it this way. Instead of waiting for life to show up, I say, have a way to measure, are you on the path? Here's how you know if you're on the path. First question, you and I'd be so aligned on this. What is your deepest desire now? Let's awaken that. Let's find the reasons for it. What do you want now? Because desire sets the tone of the story. Is my desire to serve God? Is my desire to build a family? Is my desire to, whatever it is, that sets the tone. So we activate that. Then the second step that we take you through is face the truth, which is what has stopped you in the past? And Jordan, I found relatively, there's only a few things, maybe 5. It's like fear. That's why you didn't do it. Or it's a limiting belief or story. All the good ones are gone. I've tried everything. It's not true, but you believe it, so you don't act on it. Or it could be a different emotion. It could be an emotion like, overwhelm, stress, something of that nature that keeps you moving forward. Or it could be a habit. You want to lose 30 pounds, but you go to Starbucks and get a smoke and mocha, whatever, every morning. It's not going to work. Or you're missing a skill. Right? You just don't know how to manage it. No one taught you what to do in those areas, right? Yeah. So there's only a few things. So once you have enough driving desire and reasons and you take on the path, you're on the path now, you know what you want. Second step to keep on the path is knowing what's prevented you. Next step is build a map, a massive action plan. Not a perfect plan, just what are the 2 or 3 things that'll get you momentum? What can you do right now? What's it gonna do that's difficult when you do that's easy? Start with the easy one, then go to the difficult one. I personally like to go with the difficult one first. So you do whatever your style is.
You go with the most difficult one you're likely to manage.
Yes, I agree with you. It's the most certainty that you can still find the way.
Yeah.
And then you got to, step 4 is you got to do the hard work. You got to slay the dragons. You got to actually get the skill. You got to push through whatever that limiting belief or fear is. Once you've done that, the rest is easy. Now all you need is a daily practice, like priming. You now have some daily practices that keep you on the target. Then you measure ruthlessly, because you can't manage something you don't measure. That's the biggest problem in most businesses, right? It's like, I'm fortunate enough now, I have literally 114 companies who do $9 billion in business, and I have no business background, only self-educated by studying the best. And the patterns are the same. I see what the patterns are, right? So now you measure, and then you celebrate. And then just like the other one, you start over again. Now, what's my next desire?